Hello, everybody, and welcome to LLG Random but Real. I am your host, Lisa Gilliam, 1SingingLady, and today I'm excited, excuse me, to have someone. I should probably tell you how we met first. Yes, I think I'll start that way. Last summer I had to take classes, multiple classes, because my current position is making me become a certified teacher, which you all that know me know that I used to be a teacher and I'm not excited about ever going back to the K through 12 class, but I love my current job. Okay. So just want to put that out there. But I met LaShaune Armstrong-Watson during one of my classes, and we just kind of clicked because of different reasons. One actually being, I used to be a counselor, and she was also in the field of social work, and they're very, familiar or similar professions. And then now she's a teacher. And I'll let her tell you about that. I also want to just let you know that during this discussion, at some point, we are going to be actually talking about suicide. So I just want to put a trigger warning. And then you all know that even though both of us have been in the field, we are not acting as such here. And so I want to make that clear. This is our opinion, our statement. What we think, you all should know. So the comments are just our own opinions, whether they're based on experience or not. We're not being therapists through this. So everybody got that? Say that. Yes. Okay. And so we want you to please seek professional therapy. You can always reach out to me on social media or on here. And we want you to please, like right now, take a second. If you're not subscribe, like, and share this post, and subscribe to youtube.com. 1SingingLady on youtube.com so that you can get further information about what we're doing. So with that being said, LaShaune, welcome.
Hello. How are you today?
I am fine. So I'll be showing you messages. And so it's your sister, Sissy LaShaune, Whitney Nicole. Thank you for joining us.
Well, hello, my sister.
And so we will, why don't you tell everybody like what you're doing, like general, you don't have to go like detail about what you do. You say we work in the county. So, we know we're both in the education field now, but tell people about
Yes. So my name is LaShaune Armstrong-Watson. I am in my second career right now. I work for PGCPS County as an educator. Certainly, it was by surprise to me that I would be here on that side of the fence. I'm normally in the social work field. I have over 20 plus years of experience as a social worker. I also have a background in mental health. I have an MSW in social work. So, but I enjoy, oddly enough, I am enjoying what I do and how I do it. Pouring back into people is just sort of who I am. And I enjoy this new career that I've stumbled upon, let me say. I'm a mom of three, and I have the last one in the house, and he's a boy, so that's a different experience altogether. But certainly, life is good, and I'm working on my own journey. You can't really help and pour into people if you're not pouring into yourself. So I'm really in a very reflective state of mind right now.
Awesome. Well, yes. And I think one of the things that I don't know, we talked about a lot of different things. First of all, school was really stressful for me because I had not been in any class since 2016. And at that time, I was taking one class and I actually wasn't employed, so I could just focus on the class. I took a 6th class last year, and 4 of them I took in the summer. And when I tell you I was frazzled, I literally was staying up all night, like going to bed at 9.
You were, because I was
right. Going to bed at 9 in the morning because it was every other day in the summer.
Right.
So in order to get that done, and I had like a conference to go through, and the pandemic was happening at the time, I was just like, but I'm very thankful. God has a plan, y'all. Just have to put that out there because the county had it set up so we were able to take classes in the summer for free.
Yeah, God did that.
So, 4 classes for free, and I got
free.
Yeah, for free. And then tuition reimbursement I got on the other two. So I didn't get the whole, but I got something. So basically, I didn't really pay for a class. So we'll see what he does next because I'm not exactly sure about this, but that's a whole different story. Um,
Yeah,
one of the things that we talked about God, we talked about relationships, we
yeah,
talked about like classes and just like education. And so I know there's like two main topics that I want to talk about now. As
yeah.
always, anybody who comes on here can answer what they want to answer and not answer if they want to answer. And if you all that are watching have questions, please put them in the chat, and I will make sure that either myself or LaShaune sees it so we can, respond to whatever it is that you all want to say to us. But today we're going to talk about friendships, which is something that, like, literally when we were talking before the show came up.
Yeah.
Don't plan the conversations, y'all. It's random but real for a reason. I don't come on here already knowing what I'm going to say. It's really God led, or any conversation that you would have with someone on the phone or in person. That's what this is. It's just that we're inviting you into our lives live to hear what it is that we have to say, but it's not planned unless there might be a topic, but normally, it's the topic is there, but we still don't know the questions or things that are going to come up. So this is going to be really
Right.
from our heart, so you all get an intimate look into what LaShawn and
Exactly.
Lisa are saying today. So
Yeah,
um,
totally.
which one do you want to start with? You want to start with the friendship boundaries first, or you want to start with the heavy first? Because I did put a trigger warning saying
Right.
we're
Right.
talking about suicide. So
So in all honesty, to me, and I was mentioning it to you, I think they sort of intermingle, right? Because
okay.
for me, I'll start off with the mental health part of it, right? Having a transparent moment. I had a really, really rough last couple of months, right? I think we all did, right? But during Christmas time, literally Christmas Day, I lost two girlfriends, right? One 24 hours ago on Christmas Eve, she was celebrating with her family and friends and having a party. And then Christmas morning, she was no longer here. And then I get a phone call later that evening, actually mid morning, that another friend, co-worker, ex-co-worker, had passed away due to suicide. And needless to say, I was no good for the rest of the weekend. Let's just put that out there, right? And
Mhm.
I'm like, God, like, how does somebody in such a supposed to be so joyous of a time, and we're supposed to be celebrating, if you're a Christian, you're celebrating the birth, Christ, and so forth and so on. If you're not, you're just celebrating with your family and friends. And you know how in such a joyous time of year are people so heavy in their spirits and in their emotions to feel like there's no hope, you know? And I try to then just reflect on my own stuff to see. I can see how you get there. I can see and understand how you feel isolated, how you feel alone, how you feel like there is no hope, you know?
Mhm.
And so I really just wanted to point out, like, we have to do a better job. And this is how I believe that it connects with friendships, because we have to do a better job at checking on people, right? I'll be the first to tell you I'm the busiest person, I think, besides the president of the United States, right? I always got something going on in my life, in my family, in my house, in my brain, whatever it is. But I intentionally make a conscious effort to try to check in with people. I may not always pick up the phone and say hello per se, you hear my voice, but I
Mhm.
take a
Your
conscious,
text or mhm.
intentional effort to text somebody and say, hey, how you doing? Just wanted to check to see how you doing. Somebody, I'll pray about certain things and certain people will pop into my mind. Um, I reconnected with somebody after like 25 plus years because
Okay.
I had a dream about them. And I was like, I need to see if this person is okay. I need to make sure just the connectiveness is still there for me. So I say all that to say that, we have to understand, especially in this time, when you already have a whole bunch of other stuff going on, and then you are isolated from the world, you are isolated from your family, from your friends, from your daily activities. that can bring the strongest person down. And I just want people to know that there's always that one person that if you can't feel safe, what is friendship all about then? What is friendship really all about then if you can't feel safe with at least one person in your life? You know, if you're not a person of prayer, if you're not a person that's religious, like, get you that one good friend. That ride or die, we ride until the wheels fall off. It could be male, it could be female, it could be somebody you know for 10,000 years. It could be somebody you know, like me and Lisa. Like, we would just kick it sometimes and we just talk about all types of stuff. She knew my business, I knew her business, and it was like, but it was safe. Nobody knows Lisa business in my circle. I don't know. I pray that nobody else knows.
I don't know nothing about you.
So it's like, but when you are intentional, that's the key word right there. When you are intentional about connecting to people and really being supportive, all your stuff go out the way. I was going through. I had just lost my cousin at the beginning of the month, and my other cousin was found dead, a week or so later. But in that moment, I was checking on people who I know these two deaths had affected. I'm like, oh, I gotta call this one. Oh, I gotta call my coworker. Oh, I gotta call my ex-boss. Like, I was on the phone until 3:00 in the morning talking to people because I had to hear. They needed to hear. What kind of friend am I? For me, I'm a Christian, so I'm going to say this. The Bible says, if you call yourself a friend, you must first show yourself friendly. How am I calling you my friend and I don't show myself friendly? At no given.
Hold on, Sean. I'm laughing because I don't even need to be here, y'all. We can just listen to her for the whole hour.
No.
She is preaching. Hey, y'all. I hope that you can see without putting this up that we all do need at least one good friend. I want to talk about something that you said though. Believe it or not, I don't feel like I have that. I know a lot of people. A lot. I have been on stages. I've been on radio. I've been in film. I've been on, I have CDs. I have all this stuff. And I have people now that one of them just, said something where she checks on me and she'll be like, are you okay? Okay. Are you good? Good. Or are you just like good? Because I'm so used to saying I was okay.
But Lisa, I asked you that a couple of times too.
We already know how we are. Yes.
Out the way. Let me just say it again. Are you okay?
Yes. Yeah. And I'm not saying that I don't have anybody that's there for me, but like you were talking about or die in my life, like I moved around a lot.
Right.
And so that was part of it. And I think that that's why I'm so, you said something about intentional, and I'm that same way too. So I think God creates, well, first of all, I know he creates people differently, right? So you have those of us that are like us that will call and check on everybody, even in the midst of us going through, even in the midst of, and I've shared like those of y'all, this is the first time y'all hearing this, depression, suicide awareness or thoughts rather, sexual abuse, molested, date rape, found my grandmother deceased, was there when my mom took her last breath or whatever. I've gone through some trauma in my life. And even in those moments, I made sure I dot every I and cross every T. Some people I understand don't have the capacity to, or that's just not that important that's not their focus. And so I get that, and I can have grace for that. However, if you are my friend and you're saying you are my friend, then if you're having suicidal thoughts, I would want you to come to me, even if I was going through it myself. One, because I've been trained, because being a counselor or being in social work, you know what I'm saying? We're taught to be able to compartmentalize and do the things we need to do and not focus on us. And so that's part of it. But I think the other part is that we're so used to wearing masks, like just society-wise, that I can't tell you my real stuff because I don't know how you're going to actually deal with it. I don't know if you're going to be able to deal with it or hold it in a safe space. You know what I'm saying? Even when I told you my stuff, we had just met. So I had planned. I wasn't like running to you to tell you nothing. It just happened. It just happened. We just happened to share. And we don't talk all the time. We'll still catch up or whatever. But it's not, we got busy lives.
Right.
Tell y'all this side note, everybody in education right now, we work harder now than we ever did prior to the
Let's be very clear. They need to double my paycheck.
Every single day. Like I'm working sometimes at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, getting messages, just whatever, trying to make sure that my students are good. And I'm not even a classroom teacher. Okay. So just let's put that there.
Right.
I think that there's some of us that have the propensity to check on people. And then there's other of us that are just selfish.
That's
not only those two, but that is one of the things. I'm too busy. I have stuff on my plate. I do too.
Right.
I'm like it's gonna come up until I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna write about this. Have time, make time. You choose.
Right.
Choose to decide, even in the fact of you wearing your mask, whether I want to tell you whatever's going on or whether I decide to keep it in self. Yes, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say though, and you to the point of view of saying, people make time for what they want to make time for. Let's be very clear.
Absolutely.
Because people are like, oh, I'm so busy. You get that with, say, if you're in like a relationship, oh, I was busy or working. No, bro. If you want to make time, you gonna
call me.
You gonna call me. You gonna figure out a way how to get those 5-10 minutes in or whatever the case may be. And that is the connectiveness, how I put the mental health with the friendship and the boundaries that we now have to really start looking at. I don't know. I'm in a season of self-reflection, right? Mm-hmm. And something happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and I was in New York and I was connecting with a friend, and they took a phone call that was very inappropriate for them to take in front of me, right? And I was like, well, what made this Negro, forgive me for saying that, take that phone call in front of me? Like, what made you comfortable enough to have that conversation in front of me?
Okay, so hold on, because I got to make sure I understand the framework. If it's too much, you can say. So it was somebody you were interested in?
Yeah, we have a connection.
Okay, I just want to. Okay, and so while you were talking to them, they called like that conversation, or specifically
someone else called them. That I guess they had a whole nother situation with, and they started checking whatever they needed to check with them. But you were so comfortable that you're just sitting there having this conversation like, I'm not here coming to see you.
I don't understand how good to me this is right now, because I'm telling you, it was
what are we?
Right, how you disrespect me like that? Yes.
Right? Hello, sissy. That's my little baby sibling that just connected. Hey. Right? So I'm like, wait. But then, although I was upset, although I was mad, I walked out that building saying, yo, what's wrong with you, LaShaune?
You didn't say nothing, did you?
Wrong with, no, I said something.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
What?
Yes.
What makes you so comfortable? And what about me makes you not believe I deserve more respect? Right? And that's where we get into, we teach people how to treat us.
Yes.
Now, don't get me wrong. Me and him, we talk about different things. We talk, we're cool. Don't get me wrong. But I don't ever want you to believe, as they say, I'm your homie, and we just cool like that, where you disregard who I'm supposed to be representing in your life. Ooh. And I said, that's your fault.
Right. I want people how to treat us. Exactly.
I wanted to take accountability. I wanted him to apologize and all of that, right? And he did, thank God. And it changed the dynamic of the way I thought about everything I was doing. Because I know that if I don't command it, I'm not going to get it.
Right.
Right? And those are the boundaries that we in this season as people have to really start saying, well, why this keep happening? And why people just keep doing me any old kind of way? And why people just keep saying and it's like, well, guess what?
Something's wrong with me.
I need to change some stuff.
If I'm the common denominator,
right? I'm the common denominator.
Then I need to check what it might be.
What about me?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Then I went deeper, because then I started really pulling some stuff, and I said, but did I check the trauma that I went through that makes me believe that I have to tolerate certain behavior because of the trauma that I've experienced. And then that just unraveled a whole bunch of other stuff. And I'm like, God, I'm going to be like, I'm just on this whatever road and journey for however long I'm here, because I really need for God to work inside of me. And I keep mentioning God. I'm going to say it again. I am a Christian. That's the only foundation I know, right? But I had to, the man in the mirror, thank you. I had to look at myself. I have to look at myself, because if I'm not looking at me, I am reflecting, or I am commanding the energy. I am commanding the behavior, right? And if I'm not putting out all of that into the universe, I'm only getting back what I'm putting out there. So what about my stuff? All right, LaShaune, you gotta, because see, we don't ever want to look at ourselves. We don't never look at
some of us don't.
That. Some of us don't.
But I do.
Like,
it's
don't,
important.
Right?
It's definitely important to do.
We have to really start to look at what part of my stuff do I really need to look at, and what am I missing? What am I not addressing? We can connect mental health all up and down this, because it really is about checking into your emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual being. Those all have to line up. We often we'll work out all day long. People go to the gym 20, 30 hours a week. But your mind, your emotional and mental part of you is not healthy. Right. You know? What am I not looking at? What am I not really seeing? I'm a vegan. No disrespect to any vegan or anything. I'm vegan. I'm eating everything healthy. I got all of that down pat.
Right. But your emotional, your spiritual jacked up.
But my spirit is jacked up.
Yes.
But I'm just, flipping out and just saying any old, diarrhea out my mouth. Like, I gotta line up.
Right. It's about balance.
It's about balance.
Don't even focus on so like I do take it. It's really important to me to check myself. And of course, I don't know everything. I'm still learning. I'm also in therapy. It's important to me because I want to be a better Lisa. And with all the trauma that I've experienced, let's just say that first. If you've gone through some type of traumatic experience, you got some residue that you need to get.
Some residue.
And so know that you can't go in the fire and just come out with not. Most of us are not like the 3 Hebrew boys, right? It wasn't a miraculous escape from the situation. Most
at all
stuff on us that we need God to actually heal or change. We need to do some work. I'm at the place now where I don't even want to deal with someone who knows that they have some emotional trauma, some issues, and they don't want to seek help. One, because I was in the field and I'm like, so I'm doing it. I'm doing the work. Why won't you do the work too? Why won't you help you get to a place that's going to make both of us better? You know what I'm saying? If you're talking about being together. And so it says something when you're willing to put in the time to not only check yourself, but putting the time to allow someone who's actually equipped to help you through whatever the trauma might be to actually do that. And so you said a lot of stuff. Like, I don't even know which one I want to tackle first. But yes, we do have to look at ourselves. Absolutely agree. And be honest about what it is. Like, so you might not drink. You might not cheat. You might not, use drugs, but you do
we all have our vices.
You do, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's something that you're doing. Yeah. It's something that a lot of us will do. And then we'll look down on the person who might do the stuff that everybody else can see, but no better or no worse than whatever it is that we're doing. It says, Lena says alignment, balance, clarity, acceptance, true faith, not necessarily in that order, self-love and self-worth. God says we're worth it, all of it. And we are. And it's taken me a lot of time to get to that place. And I will tell you all, like, if y'all knew really what I was doing, like not just too long ago, minister, still hurting, still jacked up, still turning the stuff that I didn't need to, whatever. Another reason why I do this. Yeah, you can.
Right.
But no, but see, this is the thing. You can say that, but I feel like my stuff is horrible.
We
Like,
all do, right?
right. It's the worst thing ever in
It's
life.
the worst thing.
People tell me I would never do that. Like when I actually take the time to tell you what it is that I did or sinned or messed up on, or what I'm actually going through, and you turn your nose up at me, it shuts me down. Not because I think I'm perfect, but
Right.
because I it took a lot for me to tell you whatever it was, and now you're looking down at me like you don't got your own stuff, but you
Right.
got your own stuff, and I'm looking. It's not the same mirror, but it's a reflection.
Right.
You still got your own stuff that you need to do. So how can you look down at someone
Right.
else? And so sometimes I think it said, the Bible talks about iron sharpens iron. I don't always think that that's just in the good stuff. If I can tell you my stuff and you
Right.
your stuff, and I can
Right.
trust you to hold that stuff safe, and we can
Exactly.
talk about it and challenge each other, then maybe we'll get better. But people don't want to go get help.
Right.
Talk to nobody. They want to act like everything is cool, and it's not until something horrible happens.
Right.
This is the thing. I'm telling y'all, I'm messing up even as I'm getting help. The point is, I'm getting help, and I believe that I will be on the other side of that. What are you doing to, like Dr. J said, sharpen your emotional intelligence? What are you doing to make sure that you're aware of whatever it is, or you just stay in your own little bubble?
Right. Exactly. And I literally just had this conversation, right? A transparent moment. Also, I reached out to my girlfriends, right? My good girlfriends. And I'm like, can you help me understand how I show up for you as it relates to what do you receive from me? Like, what do you get? How do I translate in our friendship? And what about me do I need to really look at as it relates to being a good friend? And also what part about me needs to do better with that,
Can
right?
we take that actually to the audience? Like, can y'all just drop? I want you to tell me too, but y'all tell me.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna show it. What makes a good friend
What makes a good friend? Yeah.
in your opinion? Because for me, a good friend is not. I was just talking about that. I was told, my friend was like, "I'm a great friend." I said, "I think you're a good friend." For me,
Yeah.
a great friend means that you're meeting the needs that I need. So, like, I am a proponent of the 5 love languages. Love, 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 love that book. Love them.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that stands out in me is if my quality, mine is quality time. That's my love language. So if you're not giving me quality time, even if you do love me, I don't feel like you do, because you're not loving me the way I need to be loved. But
Right.
say yours is words of affirmation, and I don't ever say nothing positive to you. I don't build you up. You're not going to feel like I'm giving you what you need. And so to me, I don't separate my relationships, like what you were talking about with the other guy, from my friendships. For me, quality time goes across all. A friendship is still a relationship.
Right.
Say a mother-daughter situation is still, my mom's deceased, my parents are deceased, but if they were living and I never spent quality time with them, I would still feel the same way, because it's still a relationship.
It's still a
And
relationship.
sometimes we compartmentalize, which that's fine if that's what you do, but know what it is that you need to make it a good situation. So tell me,
Right.
what you think is a good friend, and I hope that some of you all will actually drop that also in the chat so we can see what is a good friend. What's the quality of a good friend to you?
So that was the thing, right? Because in my head, I thought I was being a good friend. I thought I always tried to show up. I always try to support. I always try to, and it was like someone mentioned it to me, was like, well, are you doing it though just to be seen? And I had to look at that. And I was like, okay. I said, let me work with that, and let me digest that. And so I was able to reflect back and know that that's not who I am. I don't need credit. I actually can be an Indian all day long, and I'm good with that. I don't actually even need for anybody to know that I contributed to anything, right? So I was able to, as they say, if it don't apply, let it fly. So I looked at it, I checked it, and I was able to take the part that I was responsible for and let the rest of it go, right? But I had a situation where you talk about love language. I think we oftentimes don't understand that there's love languages even in friendships. And I think that we only believe that love languages only translate to male and female, or if you're in, same-sex relationships or whatever it is, that it only translates to intimate relationships with people. And that's not the case. Like, I have several, girlfriends on here. I understand what you need if I'm going to connect to you as a friend. That's important. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know if my baby sister's still on here. She needs something different from us. And we be like, that's the baby. So we have to do it a different way for her. And no shade to her. She knows I love her like my own. But my older sister, she don't need the same thing from me. And then my middle sister, she needs something different. And so when you are connective, and I can't use the word more than ever, is the connectiveness and the intentionality of when we are connecting to people, we have to understand what that means for that person, what support looks like. Because I can hand you, $50, but that may not be what you need from me. You understand what I'm saying? For me to just sit there. You might need for me to come and clean. You might need for me to go buy some groceries that you gave me the money for, but you just need me to go out to the store to go get them. Like, it looks different. And I think we sometimes try to put all our friendships into one basket, especially if we have the same circle of friends. We be like, oh no, they're just my, these are who they are. No, we need to understand relationships with people. We need to understand the connectiveness with people. We need to understand the intentionality that we have to have with people. Again, another one of my girlfriends is on here. I was like, oh, I got to check up on her. It's been, a minute. She reached out to me first. And it was like, the strong ones need support too. We forget that. We forget that. Operating with truth with somebody. You should be able to tell me, though, LaShaune, your stuff is jacked up, sis. I'll be able to receive it.
Right. And still be friends after that.
And we can move forward.
Absolutely.
But people want to throw, I say, this is my new saying all the time now, is everybody want to throw the baby away with the bathwater. It don't have to be that way.
Absolutely.
You can still understand the part that you have to take accountability for, and then figure out the rest, Right. But we wind up throwing the whole baby away with the bathwater, and then we back to square one. We're trying to figure out what happened, how it happened.
So I wanted to read some of the comments. I think that's good. Dr. J said, characteristics of a good friend is subjective. I absolutely agree, which is what you think is a good friend. That's the whole point. It's not how it's how I do, it's how you do. And then we have a conversation about it to come to a common place. Honesty and attention is what Whitney says. Like, if we're talking, don't be super consumed to the point you aren't engaged in the time spent. Angela, I think it depends on the individual friendship. For some, it's support, others time, still others trust. But I think a receive and offer friendship differently based on the person. Exactly. And Lena says, yes, Sean, it looks different. Well-spoken love. And I agree. Very true. Understand who the person is, respond to their love language. And that lies my point. That there lies in my point. It's not about how you would do something. It's how the other person needs, what the other person needs, what the other person wants, or what they need to do to feel the love or the care or the trust or whatever your characteristics are. Because we all have our own values and visions and dreams. And so, but we do have to be able and open to talk about it.
Yeah.
In order to find out. Like, if I never talked to you, I wouldn't know anything about you. I still got to communicate, even if I only talk to you, once a year, which I've talked to you more than that. But it's I still got to talk to you. Dr. Say, universal among friends, lovers, and family. And yes, it is. I agree. I'm not, I think it starts. The whole thing, it all starts with a conversation.
It all starts with a conversation.
Because you may think something and it's something different than what I think, but if we don't ever have a conversation about it, how would I know?
Right.
How would I know?
And I remember a past situation within the last couple of months of my life. It was a situation where my girlfriend was going through, she lost her son. He was, connected to me in that way as if, my own for the most part, right? We've grown up together, whatever, right? And someone was pointing out that I was sort of, being very protective of her. And that was, me and a couple of other friends were doing a lot to support her. But did we really need to do that much? Again, I went in prayer and I was like, okay, God, what Was I wrong? Am I really, overprotecting her, or am I really trying to do too much or whatever? And God exactly reminded me her love language is service.
Mm.
And because he said that to me in such the stillest voice, I was okay with what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you did or didn't do during that period of time for her, that's on you. But
Right.
when God reminded me that her love language is service, and that you could talk to her all day long about how much you love her, but until she see you actually putting that groundwork in, she don't care nothing about what you saying. And when God reminded me of that, I was like, okay, I get it, And we don't always honestly know the people who we are connected to's language.
Yes.
We say we love them all the time. We say that, I'm your sister friend and I'm this and I'm that and whatever the case may be. And it's like, yeah, but do you really know me? Or do you know
Right.
the surface of whatever, that thing is?
Right.
Um, and and I'm growing and I'm understanding that daily. Let me be very clear. At the end of the day, I didn't always know. I'm like, I'm here. Like, what's the problem? I gave you money. What's the problem? And it was
Right.
it was deeper than that. And
I said,
I go into understanding that.
right. It's not like people, because I've struggled. I've shared with you, like, I think the longest I was unemployed at one time was like 11 and a half months, which is pretty long, in the grand scheme of things. A lot of things that are happening in the pandemic, I tell people, I was like, yeah, I've experienced all of this at some point in my life. So for me, it's just like, okay, now you understand what I was kind of going through when everything was kind of going well. Although I don't want anybody to experience any type of hurt or pain or whatever. It
Right.
just, if you look or listen to people's stories, like their eyes are open in a different way. And it's something that you were saying that I just kind of lost my thought. But I think that, understanding where and what we want, first of all, and then being able to talk about that with someone else, it does make a big difference. And you do have to know, like what you were saying with your friend, you doing whatever you do is not going to stop me from doing whatever I need to do for my friend. But if I tell you, hey, I need to hear from you, I need you to call me, because I told y'all I dealt with depression. So at any given moment, thank God that has not been the case right now. I still have PTSD and insomnia, but there could be, like, I could be good today and tomorrow I'll just be jacked up. And
Right.
I'm not bipolar. It's not that. It's just there's a lot of stress, a lot of trauma. And so you waiting 50 days or even sometimes 2 days to call. Like, that's when people
Right.
would tell me, they would literally let me know this, Sean. They'll be like, yeah, I thought about you the other day. I'm like, did
Right.
about calling? Because that day I was thinking about committing suicide.
Right.
Thank God I didn't do it.
Right.
And I take that to heart. I've shared that on this show before. I had two friends, two different incidences, both tried to take their lives. And one was, it was something in their voice. And I was supposed to be going to my godmother's, she's now deceased, but going to like a award ceremony for her in my childhood church. And it was just something in the voice and I didn't know. And so I went and I told him about the first person who actually tried to drive it over into the other lane and commit suicide. Thank God both of them are living. Both of them are, alive, whatever. And he was like, it's funny that you said that. There's my gun right there. And I was like, God, what if because I love my godmother and I wanted to be there for her, but what if I didn't listen to your voice leading me to go check on him?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then he would not be here for his children and his grandchildren. And so, not because of me or anything I've done, except just be obedient to what God was saying. But
Yeah.
that means we do have to forsake the stuff that we think is important. Just listen, for those of us who are Christian, listen to however God is leading you. I want to some of the comments, and we have to look beyond the surface to truly see someone. Very true. We have a heart, and I agree with you, Tamara. So, and tomorrow, that's funny, but I agree too. It said I'm big on physical touch as well. Love my face, but at the end of the day, and I do too. And sometimes I'm not a gift person, but I too. Sometimes just give me, like, you can give me a. Do you know what a card does for me? Like a thoughtful, or like a letter or something. Like sometimes that's even you took the time, quality time. You took the time to actually just do something. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. There was a time because a lot of people knew I needed money. that's what they would give me. But
Right.
now I feel like the parent who just gives money to their child because they
Right.
don't
Just
take
here,
the time
just
to
add in.
spend with them or whatever. Like, you want to spend money with me, on me, fine. Let's take me to the place. Let's
Right.
do something together. Let's do things together. Don't just dangle the money in my face because you know I need it. And
But even one better, what do you like? Like, don't buy me something that you want me to have. You know what I'm saying? Think about
right,
me. Think
right.
about who I am. Think
Mhm.
about, and my
Or at
siblings,
least ask me. Ask
or
me what I like.
but my siblings are on here. It drives us crazy, this part of who my father is, but he gets stuff that is connected to who you are, right? And you have to, you buy me an ice cream, mint chocolate chip, baby, we talking about something. You don't got to spend $150,000 on me, right? Buy me a piece of cheesecake from Junior's and I'm excited. Like, I'm in my happy place or whatever the case may be. And I'm a foodie. But it's like, who is this person? Who is Lisa? How would Lisa appreciate receiving something from me, not just because I gave it to her,
Yes.
not just because I gave it to her and said, oh, I gave Lisa a gift. I gave it for her birthday and da-da-da-da-da. No. What did I give Lisa that meant something to Lisa? If Lisa told me that, flowers or water or candles or whatever it was, giving that to you might mean actually more than me taking you out and spending whatever amount of money. Because it was personal, it was thoughtful, it was connected to who you are and who your spirit is, you know?
But that requires us to have conversations and listen.
It requires us
You
to
don't spend a lot, or that's why I said it. There are times where, like, I might not know that about you because we don't talk all the time. But if that was something I was doing, it's nothing wrong with asking. Like, give me like 5 things that you like. And just in regular conversation, you're not
right,
even knowing that I'm going to give you anything, but just
right,
because I'm trying to get to know you, why do I want to get you something that doesn't mean anything to you or you can't even use? Like,
right,
the thing is, like, I know you're not supposed to look a gift horse in the mouth. You're not supposed to, be negative about it. Thankful for the gift. However, can
right.
it be something I
Yeah,
like?
yeah.
Is
And
that bad?
sharing moment. One time, my husband bought me one of those fancy mixers, and I was cooking during that time. But I'm like, bro, you could take this mixer on back to the store. I'm grateful. It was like a $300 mixer, but you can buy me some earrings instead or something like that. So it's those moments where it's like, that wasn't for me. That's for me to cook you more food. Oh no, I'm good.
Right, right. Like the men who, I mean, I know we Christians, but I know it happens. I've seen it on shows. They buy you lingerie. That ain't
Like that
yeah.
that was for you. We don't know how to deal with that, But also though, I want to, add on, we talked about the mental health part of it. We talked
Mhm,
about, how we allow people to treat us or how we teach people how to treat us.
mhm.
Boundaries has to also come in with all of that as well. And I really wanted to connect that part of it too, because I think we think it's okay for people to treat us any kind of way because we're friends or we're family or whatever it is. And it's like, no, that's not okay. You don't get to treat me badly. You may have done it before. It may have happened a lot of times, and I may have overlooked it. But you don't get to treat me badly. You don't get to talk to me badly. You don't get to, just talk about me in your kind of way and just act like you ain't just scandalized my name. And I'm supposed to just be okay with that. So all of this has to sort of balance out in its way, because then ultimately we are able to receive what the universe has for us if all of those things are aligned in place. And I'm people know, I mean, I love people to death, and people know I tried my best to have a genuine heart. But baby, we in a different season. We in a different season.
You're not taking it.
I can love you from a distance. And my distance
Woo!
game, my socially distance game is getting better every day. And it
Right,
has nothing to do with me loving you. It
right.
has something to do
It's
with
more about healing me.
myself,
Yes,
healing me.
absolutely. So that I'm okay.
And
Right.
so that I'm okay, so
Absolutely.
that my mental
Absolutely.
health is okay, so that I don't go back crazy on you one day unnecessarily.
Absolutely.
Let me just fall back. Let me just fall back. Let me just, it's a different, she's saying, Tamara saying it's a different season, you know. And if
Absolutely.
we're gonna make it through this whole new normal, you have to balance
Something got to shift.
things out.
It
Some
has to be a
people need
shift.
to be cut off altogether. Like,
Absolutely.
you know, people, oh, I haven't heard from you. Well, you know what? Last time I checked, I ain't hear from you either. So it's about energy. What energy are you pouring into me?
Yes,
You know,
yes.
what
Like,
energy are
I
you
just told
pouring
my friend,
into me?
I am not going to
When
be
the
there on
last
the road
time you
anymore.
dialed my number to check on me? When's the
Absolutely.
last time you picked up the phone and said, "Hey, you okay?" Or
Yep.
you need something, or whatever
Absolutely.
it is. And it's
Absolutely.
always about receiving. Let me be very clear about that. You don't ever have to give me $1, but make sure I'm okay. Make sure,
Right.
you know, like, but oh, you ain't called me lately. Oh, well, you ain't
Don't
called
work both ways.
me either.
'Cause you
Like,
got text, you got email, you got social media, you have
exactly.
all these different ways that you can actually
Exactly.
reach out if you wanted to, if that was important. I
Right.
absolutely.
I would like to ask the audience, how important are boundaries in your life in this moment?
I know for me, they're super, super important. Like,
Yeah.
I'm learning that I gave. So like I'm gonna use an example. I was dating a guy one time. He was my ex-boyfriend at the time, but we still were friends. And I remember we were going to a concert of another well-known, she's well-known, I'll just say Chelsea Green. She's a green. If y'all never heard of green violinist, look up Chelsea Green, okay? Phenomenal. And so I'm sitting there at the table with food I bought with my money because he
Mm,
didn't at the time. And he's talking on the phone to his best friend the entire time we're sitting there at the table.
mm,
Thought about that recently, how that's actually I didn't say anything that time, LaShaune, because I thought like this is what I do. Sometimes I dummy down in my life because
mm.
I really liked you, or like we broke up, but I really didn't want to be broken up. So I wasn't going to cause any extra trouble in the situation. And I just would be quiet, even though inside it was messing me up because I knew that that was to me disrespectful that we're sitting there and the entire time we're sitting there, you felt it was okay to talk to your best friend that you could have been talking to. And we're down, let me just say, because he might be looking. Me and this guy are still cool. He's still my friend. But I thought about situations like that and so many other situations where I did not speak up and speak my truth. And so now I don't care who you are, supervisors included. If I don't agree, and there's people on here that know that I mean this because I've said it to them. I'm going to say it. Now, what I am doing is I'm praying about, okay, God, give me the opportunity to speak my truth to X, Y, Z, because what it did to me, it was affecting me emotionally. It was affecting me physically. Diabetes, I took a healing hands class years ago. Diabetes, which I have diabetes, is held in the stomach. And it's also where rejection is held and abandonment. That's I've gone through in my life. And I'm like, no, I have to start speaking my truth because if I don't, it's going to end up killing me, like
Right.
emotionally, whatever. I can't
Physically,
do that way
yes.
anymore. I can't do that anymore. I have
Right.
to change the way that I move, the way that I think. And I'm not
Right.
doing everything right. I'm working on it. I'm trying to be better.
Yeah.
But it
We
took
all
some
are.
situations to happen for me to, I'm 47 and I'm
Right.
just figuring that out that I
Right.
said something because
But
at the
is it because we don't know our worth?
Well, this is the thing. I do know mine, but because of all the trauma I went through, I was not accepting of it. So, like, you could know that you have a $5,000 watch, right? But if it doesn't mean anything to you, you might just throw it across the room. But
Right.
the other person, when they say, well, one man's gives another man's treasure, or one man's trash is another man's treasure, you can know your worth, but still not embrace it. And I wasn't embracing mine.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I do. Now I realize, regardless, short hair, long hair, whether y'all see, I got crazy shades of lipstick. So shout out to Sarcastic Cosmetics. I love color. I live in color. I don't care if you don't like it. It does
Right.
not matter to me. But you
Right.
know what? Everybody can't wear this.
Right.
I can't put on crazy colors or bright colors and be okay. I
Right.
am now starting to really be okay in this
Right. Right.
in. And if you don't like it, okay. If I lose
Okay.
some friends,
Right.
okay.
like it or lump
I
it.
want it, but yeah. Yep. And you know what? It has been some very lonely times.
Right.
You know what I mean? These are some of your answers. I just want you to see them because you asked boundaries can hurt, but they're necessary. Very true.
Right.
They're very important. I learned this over the years. Once I realized I was pouring into others, but some of them did not take the time to pour into me. You better say that, Jacqueline.
You
Yeah.
better say that, Miss Lawrence.
Like LaShaune said, I can love you from a distance. Absolutely. Yes. And it's hard sometimes to do it. We got a whole bunch more. Okay. The
My work mommy.
Down syndrome, LOL, it's the real thing. Yes, it is. Stop relays. I had it too. It's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. It's gone.
Identify with who you and what you are doing. People will identify that for you. Yep. Creating boundaries is the difference between peace and stress. Vital. Yes. Who you are. We got it. I need to work on building proper boundaries.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, Whitney. Yes, know thy worth. And that's the thing.
Yes.
It's Random but Real started out. I just want to say this as a caveat in September because that's Suicide Prevention Month. And I thought I was going to stop it then, but clearly we're booked down to April. So God had a completely different plan. Now, whether that continues or changes after this, every first Wednesday we do Stigma Breakers, which is a collective, myself and other people, and we talk about women's issues and mental. It's always a mental health tie-in.
Right.
For this is mental health. And one of the things Danya Parker, one of the people in the collective, always says, mental health affects everything.
Everything.
So that you were talking about today, sometimes it's because of our state, our mental health state, that we don't accept whatever, or that we do accept the things we shouldn't, or we're not saying Dr. J says, without boundaries, people will try to bend you to their will. They absolutely will. And sometimes we have to learn to just stand strong. And that might need that you need some help to get to that.
Tell you, my no game is on
strong.
My no game is on sleep. And I never the first time I said no. And they looked at me like, LaShaune, you're not gonna really? I said, no, I'm really not gonna do it. Right. And there was something for church. And they wanted me, and I said, I'm not. First of all, you didn't give me enough time, and second of all, I don't want to do it. And they was just like, but you always do it. You always come through. And I was like, this is a different. Nope. I'm sorry.
There's now been a change.
So, you're absolutely right, Lisa. You have to get this together. And we got to be real with if this is together or not. We have to be real with ourselves, and it's like we joke, especially ladies, we be like, yo, I'm PMSing, I'm acting crazy, da, da, da. But we really have to embrace our mental health, because it's so fragile. We carry the world practically on our shoulders on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. Whether you're a mom, whether you're an auntie, a husband, or a wife, or you are a teacher, a professional, whatever it is, there's so many things that pull us, and pull at us and pull our energy and pull our mental strength. And you be surprised. It's like that one little thing that's right there that can break. And then it's like, you just lose it all, and we really have to, it's okay to have any mental, whether you have an official diagnosis or just one you self-diagnose, it's okay. But then you have to make sure that you are doing the necessary work of making sure you have balance within inside of yourself as it relates to your mental health. People think that mental health is just about you being totally depressed every day, all day. That's a part of it. That's a part of it. But that's not the complete level of mental health and check-in that you need for yourself to say, am I balanced? And my balance is my mind, my spirit, my physical, mental, emotional health. Is it balanced? But I'm learning, even for myself, and I'm okay with saying, okay, I got some stuff I really need to, double check with that. I don't have an official diagnosis, but having been in mental health for quite some time, I know I got some stuff on spectrum of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And if I'm not careful, that thing can go over. And
there are some people though that are there, but they're not going to get the help to get to find.
exactly.
And we have to face that fear and that stigma too.
Right.
Um,
Exactly. Yeah.
but I hate to cut you off. We're running out of time. This is really
Oh,
good though. It
yeah,
went through like super quick. Are you on social media? Is it social media platforms that you want to share with anybody? If anybody wants to get
I'm on I have no idea what my handles are, so I can't even tell you. But most people are connected to me. They follow me. They're on my social media. I'm on Instagram. I'm on
Okay.
Facebook. I think I'm using my
I need that information for myself. I don't follow you on social media.
I'm using my maiden name now, so it's just LaShaune Armstrong.
Okay.
Although I haven't officially gotten rid of the last name, but I'm starting to just speak those things that are as though they were.
Okay.
But
all right.
at the end of the day, I'm on Instagram. Again, I don't know what my handle is. I want to say it's LaShaune Armstrong also. But yeah, just yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. And then for you,
thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here. For those who've never been on before, again, please.
Platform to me.
No, you're welcome. I'm glad that you were able to. I'm also a vocalist, for those of y'all who may not know. And so I would love for you all to go check out my music, etc. You can go to Solo 2 /1SingingLady, and all of my links are there. If you already have Amazon or Apple or I don't know, anything any music, Spotify, Pandora, you can find me. Just type in Lisa Gilliam. You can stream my music. I have CDs you can actually purchase. If you actually go to my website, which is www.lisalgilliam.com, you can probably see it in the background there. And I also sell doTERRA. So sometimes essential oil is very helpful to calm me, like lavender, just different chamomile. So they're different oils that have actually helped. Whether I continue that or not, I don't know, but because I'm changing some things, in the new year. Yes, that is true. Sometimes it can seem like a foreign language. Again, if you heard anything today, these are just our thoughts, our own opinions.
Yeah.
The thing about this is I only speak to people that I know personally. So if I don't know you, I won't have a conversation with you. I don't consider this an interview. It's a conversation. And just like you would in person or just on the phone, that's what you heard today. And so I thank you for the opportunity just to have a conversation with you.
Thank you.
Haven't caught up in a while. So we did like double duty in that sense.
Yes.
I hope that you all will again
came out to support us on tonight.
Yes, please. Please follow us. Go find my stuff, and please like, share, and subscribe to this page so we can do this more. I don't know what I has in store. Like I said, past April, but I planned on stopping a long time ago, and he completely had different plans. So if you like this information, you want to hear more, you also can hit me up. I'm at 1SingingLady on all social media platforms, and it's the number one. Except for YouTube, you spell it out. So again, thank y'all for coming, LaShaune.
Thank you
for being here. And everybody, I will see you all later. You hold on. Thanks, everybody. 1SingingLady out.
Bye. Thank you. Love you guys.